Have you ever felt completely alone, as if no one truly understands your pain? Have you ever looked around and thought that everyone else is moving forward while you remain stuck in place? Perhaps you are exhausted, tired of fighting, tired of waiting, tired of believing. Maybe you have even considered giving up. But before you make any decisions, listen to this: you are not alone. We all go through difficult times. The Bible is filled with stories of people who endured immense suffering, faced insurmountable challenges, and reached points where all seemed lost, yet God never abandoned them. And He will not abandon you now. Do you remember Job? He lost everything: his wealth, his family, his health. He reached such a state of despair that he cried out, "May the day of my birth perish." Job 3 verse 1. Have you ever felt that way? As if your life is nothing more than an endless cycle of failures and pain. But what happened in the end? God restored everything Job had lost, and even doubled it. Now, let me ask you this: what if he had given up before his restoration? How many times have you been on the verge of victory but quit because you did not see immediate results? Often, the greatest trial we face is not the hardship itself, but the silence of God. The waiting period can be agonizing. You pray, you seek answers, yet everything around you seems unmoving. It feels as though you are speaking to a wall. But remember, even when God appears silent, He is still at work. Jesus spent 3 days in the tomb before His resurrection. To those around Him, it seemed like the end, but it was only the beginning of the greatest miracle in history. Perhaps your life is in that waiting period. Maybe you are in the Saturday of silence, caught between the pain of the cross and the joy of the resurrection. But Sunday is coming. Your miracle is on its way. Now comes the important question: what should you do while you wait? How do you keep going when everything inside you is screaming to give up? Here are 3 essential steps to maintaining your faith. 1. When pain strikes, when discouragement takes hold, ask yourself, why did I begin? What is my purpose? Great men and women who changed history faced moments of doubt. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, yet he never gave up on his vision of freedom for the South African people. Had he given up in year 10, 15, or even 26, history would have been entirely different. And you, what is the dream that God has placed in your heart? If He has given you a vision, He will provide the means to accomplish it. 2. Peter walked on water as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus. But the moment he focused on the wind, he began to sink. Matthew 14 verse 30. Where is your focus? Are you concentrating more on your problems or on God? Shift your focus. Yes, the challenges are real, but your God is greater than any mountain standing in your way. 3. We often wait to feel motivated before taking action. But the truth is, action comes before motivation. Do you think David felt fear when facing Goliath? Most likely, yes. But he did not wait for the fear to pass, he moved forward. If you are waiting to feel ready before continuing, stop right now. Take a step of faith, even if it is a small one. Many who are now seen as icons of success nearly gave up along the way. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity. Had he given up, we would never have Disney today. Oprah Winfrey faced rejection and was dismissed early in her career, yet she went on to become one of the most influential women in the world. Steve Jobs was once ousted from his own company, Apple, before returning to revolutionize the entire tech industry. Your story is not over. Your struggles are not the end of your journey. Keep going, keep believing, and trust that the best is yet to come. If those individuals had not persevered, their stories would have been nothing more than a footnote in history. Now, I ask you, what about your story? Will you allow fear and hardship to bury your purpose? Or will you press on and write a victorious ending? I challenge you, for the next 7 days, whenever you feel like giving up, read a verse from the Bible and write down at least one reason to keep going. Choose verses such as, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Jeremiah 29 verse 11. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles, they will run and not grow weary, they will walk and not be faint. Isaiah 40 verse 31. At the end of these 7 days, you will see how much stronger your faith has become. If you have come this far, it is because God wanted you to receive this message. He is calling you to keep going. Perhaps you do not yet see the light at the end of the tunnel, but that does not mean the way out does not exist. If Joseph had given up when he was sold as a slave, he would never have become the governor of Egypt. If Moses had abandoned his mission in the desert, he would never have led Israel to freedom. If Jesus had surrendered in Gethsemane, we would not have salvation. And you? Will you allow this difficult moment to define your story? Or will you trust that God still has a plan for you? Do not give up now, you might be just one step away from your greatest victory. May God bless you, and remember, Sunday always comes. And so, we reach the end of this journey, a path filled with emotions, discoveries, and moments that will remain etched in our memories. Every word spoken, every thought shared, and every instant lived carried a spark of meaning, an echo of something greater than ourselves. In this farewell, there is no emptiness, only fulfillment. For every ending holds the promise of a new beginning. We carry with us the memories, the lessons, and the profound feelings bestowed upon us along the way. And even though the words end here, their impact will never fade. Let this final moment not be a goodbye, but a "see you soon," a breath of hope that drifts like leaves in the wind, settling gently in the hearts that receive it. May the journey continue, may dreams blossom, may smiles never be scarce. And above all, may each of us take a piece of this moment with us, like a flame that never extinguishes. Because in the end, what truly matters is not just the words themselves, but the emotions they evoke, the lives they touch, and the hearts they warm. And if, for even a brief moment, this message made you feel something deeply, then it was all worthwhile. Thank you for being here. Thank you for feeling. Thank you for existing.